flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. Going mainstream.
What's up, Eagles Nation, and welcome to another episode of Eagles Connect, the channel that talks all Eagles all the time. I'm your host, George, and you can follow me on Instagram as well as Twitter at Eagles_Connect. Also, if you like this video, please subscribe. My goal right now is to get 100 subscribers, so this is what I'm going to do. For the first 100 subscribers, you will be entered to win this framed autographed photo by Fletcher Cox. So one of you guys will win this photo authenticated by Sportswire. So please subscribe and thank you for your support. On today's episode, we're going to talk about new Philadelphia Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Sorry for the short episode. On next episode, no, I'm joking. But before we get into Nick Sirianni, let's look at the hiring process. Because I know a lot of Eagles fans are upset and they're like, why didn't we hire someone like Eric Bieniemy or Brian Daboll? And this is why. Let's be honest with ourselves. That position was not an attractive position at all. First, you're going into a team with one of the worst salary caps in the league. So if you're a new head coach, you're not going to be able to bring players that you want. And during free agency, you're just going to be tied down by that salary cap. Second, you're entering QB drama. Who's it going to be? Carson Wentz or Jalen Hurts? Third, from rumors around the league, owner Jeffery and GM Howie Roseman runs the show. So they're saying that the Eagles head coach is basically a puppet. So why would you want to enter that? Not only that, let's look at the last 3 head coach firings from the Eagles. Andy Reid. In 2019, he was 11-5. In 2010, he was 10-6. 2011, 8-8. 2012, 4-12, fired. In comes Chip Kelly. 2013, 10-6. 2014, 10-6. 2015, 7-9, fired. Doug Peterson comes in. 2016, 7-9. 2017, 13-3, and a Super Bowl win. 2018, 9-7, 2019, 9-7, 2020, 4-11-1, fired. So whether you agree with these decisions or not, it's not a good look for the Philadelphia Eagles. So if I'm someone like Eric Bieniemy or Brian Daboll, I don't want this position. For my first year as head coach, I want to make sure that I take a position that's going to set me up for success. So the Eagles had all these things working against them. To make things worse, they entered the game 2 weeks later than everyone else. So they lost their chances on candidates like Robert Saleh and Arthur Smith. So then the Eagles go and they start interviewing everyone and their mothers. I'm talking about my mother even got a request to be interviewed by the Eagles. But seriously, they started interviewing Deuce Staley and Todd Bowles, Joe Brady, Dennis Allen, Keelan Moore. And it ultimately came down to 2 candidates, Josh McDaniels and Nick Sirianni. And in that case, I'm with Nick Sirianni. Josh McDaniels just rubs me the wrong way. If you look at his very short time as head coach with the Denver Broncos, he caused so many issues. There was QB controversy between him and Jay Cutler. Apparently, he tried to trade Cutler to the Patriots without him even knowing. He blew up the roster. He started trading everyone. And at the end, he got fined $50,000 because his video operations director was caught recording the 49ers practice. So he comes off as such a snake. And then in 2018, he goes ahead and he accepts the head coach position for the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts hires his staff. They schedule a press conference to announce his hiring. And in the last minute, he goes and he backs out of his contract. So he comes off to me just like such a snake, and he just rubs me the wrong way. So I'm happy we went with Nick Sirianni. So let's go ahead and let's look at Nick Sirianni. To be honest, when I first heard the news, I was a bit confused. I was like, all right, you guys fired Doug Peterson just to go and hire his ex-offensive coordinator's offensive coordinator. And that made no sense to me. Then there was noise around the league saying this hire had everything to do with Carson Wentz. You see, before the season ended, there was a rumor saying that Carson Wentz wanted to be traded to the Indianapolis Colts to be reunited with his old offensive coordinator, Frank Reich. Apparently, Frank Reich was the only coach he trusted. So Ian Rappaport said it perfectly. He said that if Carson wanted to go to Indy, well, the Eagles brought Indy to Carson. So they couldn't hire Frank Reich, obviously. So who did they hire? The next best thing. His offensive coordinator, his protege, his right-hand man, Nick Sirianni. And you would hope that Frank Reich would give Nick Sirianni the tools and the keys to unlock that 2017 Carson Wentz and bring him back to an MVP caliber player. So if you say all that, that makes sense. Not only that, you can now get Carson Wentz to buy in right away. So I started to do a little bit more research, and this is what I found. If you look at 2018, Andrew Luck arguably had the best season of his career. Under Sirianni, he posted career highs in completion percentage, QBR, and passer rating. If you look at this year, Phillip Rivers went from being a regressed 39-year-old quarterback who just threw 20 interceptions to an above-average QB, all credited to Sirianni. So when it comes to QBs, Sirianni knows what he's talking about. But let's dig a little bit deeper into his resume. He entered the NFL in 2009 with the Kansas City Chiefs as offensive quality control coach. He went then to be the assistant QB's coach, moved back to the offensive quality control coach, and then he was the wide receivers coach. I like that. In 2013, he moved to the San Diego Chargers as the offensive quality control coach, then the QB's coach, and then in 2016 and 17, he was the wide receivers coach. So he had in 2016 everything to do with the rise of Terrell Williams when Keenan Allen went down. Under Sirianni, Williams had 69 receptions, 1,059 yards, and 7 touchdowns. In 2017, when Allen came back, he had 102 catches, 1,393 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And he gave a lot of credit to his development to Sirianni. You see, this decision might not only have something to do with the QB, but also the wide receivers. Sirianni was a standout wide receiver at Mount Union, a Division III monster. And the last 1,000-yard receiver that the Philadelphia Eagles had was Jeremy Maclin in 2014. 2014. So I think this has a lot to do not only with the QB, but the wide receiver. Let's continue looking at Sirianni's resume. In 2018 and 20, he was the offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. They ranked 5th in points and 7th in yards in 2018 under Andrew Luck, and 9th in points and 10th in yards this past year with Phillip Rivers. So Sirianni definitely has some offensive skills. But this decision was not only QB, wide receiver, but also the running back. I think this hire benefits Miles Sanders greatly. Throughout Sirianni's time as offensive coordinator for the Colts, Indianapolis was ranked within the top 10 in rushing attempts 2 of his 3 seasons. Not only that, last year alone, the Colts accumulated 403 rushing attempts between their running backs, opposed to Philly's 270 rushing attempts. So Sirianni seems to me that he's also committed to the run. Not only that, in Indianapolis, they ran a 12 personnel set. The same set that the Philadelphia Eagles run, which it's 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends. So I don't know how the offense is going to look like, but it sounds to me that this hire, under the circumstances, was by far not a bad hire at all. Now we're going to have to wait and see if this actually translates on the field. Some of the knocks that they had on Sirianni was, one, he can't lead, which a bunch of players came and definitely vouched for him. Also, Frank Reich came and endorsed him, so I'm not too concerned about that. Another thing is he did not call plays in Indianapolis. Well, in 1999, we hired a QB's coach who did not call plays from Green Bay. That coach was Andy Reid. In 2016, we also took a shot at the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator who did not call plays. That coach was Doug Petersen, who won the Super Bowl. So I'm not too concerned about a non-call play calling coach, and I definitely think that if the past taught us anything, is that shouldn't be a concern. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts on whether Nick Sirianni, if he was a good hire or a bad hire. And please don't forget to subscribe. Just click that little button. Just click that little button and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you can see when I upload new videos. And I hope you really, really enjoyed this episode. Until next time, this is George signing out.